everybody, I'm Latrina Patrick. Welcome to day 78 of our 90-day grant writing tutorial. Today I want to pick up with where we left off yesterday when we were talking about the 10 tips for writing concisely. I shared with you 5 tips yesterday, and today I'm going to share with you the remaining 5. So let's get started. So number 6 is to use complex sentences sparingly and only to avoid making the text choppy. So if you have a lot of sentences where you're trying to string them together with a bunch of conjunctions like but, and, therefore, however, those types of things, you want to get rid of those as much as you can and keep the sentences simple. And you want to make sure that they're not so short and choppy that they don't read well. But one key to writing concisely is being able to keep your sentences simple without using a bunch of conjunctions to tie one or more sentences together. You don't want to get in the habit of doing that. Number 7, rather than putting a long list of things in a sentence, make a bulleted list that can be absorbed at a glance. This is one of my favorite things to do because you don't want a bunch of white space on the paper. You want to make sure that you take certain things that are long and complex and break them down into bullets so that it jumps right off the page. It's really a relief to a reviewer when they're looking at a proposal and it's not so many words, but the text is broken down so they can go right to what it is they're looking for. So that's a really great tip. Number 8 is, rather than describe a complicated process in sentences and paragraphs, make a chart or a graphic. This is really key when you're writing your problem statement because that's a section where you're going to use a lot of data, percentages, and things like that. And as often as you can, if you can extract that data and put it into a chart or a graph or a table, it looks so much better, it reads so much better, and it really helps to bring your point home. So again, like I said before, it also breaks up the page and it just looks better to the eye. So that's a really great tip. Number 9, write in short paragraphs of 3 to 5 sentences each. So keep your paragraph short. Don't have paragraphs that go halfway down the page. But again, you want it to read easy, so you want to break it up and make it good for the eye when the person is actually trying to read your grant. And then the last thing is number 10, have an outsider read your proposal to ensure that you're saying what you think you're saying. Back in the day, we used to call this passing the 7-Eleven test. So in other words, you should be able to take your proposal to someone standing outside the 7-Eleven, have them read it, and they understand it. So you want it to be simple regardless of whether or not the person understands your field or your specialty, and they can read it and understand it. So have someone outside of who you are or someone that knows about your program read it so that you're clear about what you're saying. A lot of times when we're writing and we're rereading and proofreading our own stuff, sometimes we read into what we're saying because we know what we mean. But if you have someone who doesn't know what you mean, read it and not understand it, that's really good feedback that you should take from them and then make the appropriate changes in your proposal. So that's it. Those are the top 10 tips I can give you for writing concisely in your grant proposals. I hope that information is helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them here for me on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That way you will get immediate notification whenever I upload a new video. And if you find the tutorials helpful, I hope that you'll share the information with your friends and anyone else that you think may benefit. I would love to have them gain as much knowledge as I hope you're gaining. I also want you to know that I send out weekly email updates to let you know what's coming up each week in our tutorials. So if you want access to that and get a sneak peek at what's coming up, then go over to my website at www.greatervisionconsulting.com and subscribe to my email updates. While you're on the site, make sure you check out my bio, my experience, and most of all, check out the services that I offer because I would love the opportunity to work with you and your organization. So that's it for today. I look forward to coming back tomorrow with another great tutorial. Talk to you soon. Bye.